Ntobela. I am Tapelo Tiamo Leslie Molod, and I would like to take this moment to welcome you to Tiamo Blend. Hi guys, and good day everyone. It's been long, I know, but I'm back. I've been having a bit of flu this Saturday. Sorry about that, but yeah. No, guys, this other day I was I was reading an article. So the article was looking at a cyber attack that took place on by the attackers used the PowerShell script that was created from AI. For me, that's kind of interesting that someone went on to ChatGPT or Google Gemini and thought of, I'm let me just create a script to hack this so and so company to make money. Because we all know whenever someone uses ChatGPT, it's always for research or writing or sometimes for just for boredom to see how flexible it is. But someone who was a hacker went on to further push its limits or its boundaries to see what more can it do. You see, because I once saw a few videos on the internet showing how you can use it to do illegal things, but literally someone did test it out and literally hit multiple organizations in Germany, whereby he used that script and ran it. But the only way for him to be sure is that he targeted users via their emails and he attached it through a zip folder. Because we all know that most of the time when you're applying for a job, they'll always give out a certain email you must send it through. So maybe he was smart enough, or they were smart enough to think of different people to ask them. Because whenever people get hacked, it's either through email or sometimes people become negligent and just leave their laptops unlocked anyway. This happens everywhere. I'm sometimes also a person who does that. Would stand up and just leave my laptop live open. But now I got to have a habit about making sure that whenever I leave my screen, I always lock it. It's important. So now this made me think even further that, well, if in our country we have such a high rate of inflation, crime, how are we standing in terms of cyber attacks? So that's when I got to even find out that the Companies and Intellectual Property Commission Agency, which is short for CIPC, these guys are the ones who handles the registration of businesses and intellectual property rights for the South African nation. They got under attack. Like, whoa, you're handling businesses' rights, not just rights, intellectual property, and you got attacked. Now imagine that. So now, Mr. Richard Frost didn't say much on it. The only thing he was able to touch on to the media was that a lack of clarity about what kind of data was stolen is a major worry. Meaning they are not really sure what kind was really, really stolen, or they just don't want to cause a panic, you know, because if someone were to find out that it's their business intellectual property that was stolen, it is going to cause a panic to you, you see. That was he told to Biz community. Okay, some of this information should literally never be publicly available, let alone in the hands of hackers. Because imagine if you got to have intellectual property rights of big companies here in SA. Like, you literally be able to ask for a lot of ransom. It's another form of hack whereby after the hackers attacked or have stolen the data, they ask for money in return of that data. Some of them are even willing to tell you how they attacked. Some, not all. So this kind of led me to wondering, how are we standing in terms of cybercrime stats? You see. So I got to pull up a list that was taken back in 2022, looking at the victims, which were internet users back then. And then in SA, that's not cool. Anyway, as I say, in SA, that's not cool. Like looking at the position we are standing in. We're literally in the top 10 countries of the cybercrime density list. And then from this list, we are number five with an increase of 8% from 2021 and 56 million internet users being the ones that fall victim to these attacks. So let me even to think that how sure are we that we are able to surf the net safely? How sure? Because now many of us always surf the net. Many of us grew up doing research on the internet, but how sure are we that we literally know how what we are doing? It's not literally going through a site whereby it's leaking our IP addresses or somewhere somehow whatever we are downloading is somewhere somehow carrying some type of malicious intent virus or something. So those are one of the things I always wondered that as much as we have access to the internet at home, as the especially as the adults, the old ones come on to but now we are adults, guys. Huh? Like, have you ever asked yourself how safe is it at home that you're sure that as much as you Wi-Fi is password protected and all that, that your younger sisters or brothers, sometimes even our parents, are not falling into scams when they're surfing? Did you find ways to block these different adwares, different scams, or these sites which, hey, some of these sites are not good for children? Are they blocked? Those are the things we have to always wonder, you see? Because we have to also know that now socially people have changed, things are growing, everyone has an access to a phone. As much as they have access to a phone, you must also know what is it that they are accessing on their YouTube, on their WhatsApp, and on their social media, who the people they're chatting with, you see. It's very much important on that. Yeah, it's a quick brief on that. hmm Now, I got to even find out that the CSIR's research has noted that the impact of cybercrime in South Africa's economy is at an estimate of 2.2 billion rand per annum. So this is literally huge. That's a lot of money, man. Aubua. That's a lot of money being lost through cybercrime. And the targets are not most, they are always business or people who have money. And these things have a huge impact on business. They literally have six impacts. The first impact, obviously, financial loss. The financial loss, reputational damage, operational disruptions. You see, your business cannot continue working because what they have infiltrated may have caused people or your clients not to be able to interact with your business, legal or regulatory consequences. Because sometimes, if a certain business has suffered from some type of cybercrime, it's important for legal things or regulatory to be taken into measures. How come people are able to infiltrate your business? Is it saying that you are safe to operate? You see? Number five would be intellectual property theft. As we heard of the guys who were able to steal the literature example from which I stated at the beginning of the video, right? And number six, customer trust and loyalty. Like, would you ever trust a business that was hacked and did not operate for 4 days and they never said what was wrong? Because that is very much important. We also look at that, you see? So now this led me to thinking even more in terms of, okay, we're looking at how we standing in terms of cybercrime. But again, look at where we're going. Next month it's the voting. And led me to think, Ore, as much as I used to read during the elections around in the USA that there will always be some type of uh, misinformation about different candidates. Would that happen here in SA? But looks like it does. It does. Elections are around the corner, And I got to read up on an article recently saying elections on the corner and we are already adhered to different cyber attacks, whereby now they're using AI again to create deep fakes of misinformation and mis- dismissal of information, meaning people are removing what's said about different politicians or different parties and finding ways to change it around. So this lets me to even think even further that if it doesn't come from that specific party you want to vote for, or yeah, that specific party or individual that's in the election, there's a high chance it's misinformation. They removed what was real and replaced it with what's fake. This thing is literally happening in SA. I was shocked to read about it. Because if we are facing such in terms of the cyberspace crime, would you ever think that would ever reach a point whereby we are able to have a online voting system? Because we already know our corruption is high, our inflation is high, our crime rate is high, our cyber crime is high. So, and we already know that it's always been said previously about ballot papers that have been replaced with fake so and so papers for a certain party to win. So imagine if it was online, as much as it would be pro bono to that anyone can, like it would be awesome that anyone can vote from the comfort of their home, avoid standing in line, just register online, like what I like with, I love what the IEC did with online registration. Kudos for that. So imagine if we were able to do things of voting online, just wake up early in the morning, start voting, go back to, and then continue with your life. But yeah, because now it literally, this thing of having to see that there can be deep fakes of misinformation and disinformation here in SA. And even thought that these guys are attacking government and military organizations. The military, our guys. Our one. Our one. So the attackers are about they target about 1001. There's about 1001 cyber attacks per week in the last 6 months. Looking at the focusing in on misinformation and disinformation about these elections coming up. So it's a mess. Cybercrime is a mess in SA. As much as I say crime is a mess in SA, even cybercrime is a mess. So it's a lot happening. Because wow. Wow. Every week, 1001 attacks. Come on, dude. These niggas are working overtime. They are working overtime. So yeah, the different types of hackers which you might want to know about is that we have a black hacker. Black hacker is a guy who attacks all for money or just for the fun of it. Maybe he's a part of the 1001 guy. Another one would be a gray hack. Let's go with this order. Gray hacker is a guy who works with good people and bad people. Some days he attacks for fun, just to get money. Some days he attacks and informs that I was able to attract your system. Please fix this and this. And that's how you could fix it. And a white hacker is someone who would attack but also show you that there's what they did and there's inform about the malicious attack on your system or operation. You see? That's a white hack. And then there's a red hack. A red hacker, his primary focus is to do good. And he's like a vigilante. When you say do good, whether it means whether he's breaking the rules or not, he doesn't follow the rules like a white hack. He doesn't care. All he aims is to make sure he does good, even if it's breaking a few rules. You see? So yeah, man. So this cyber crime we are facing here in SA is not cool, guys. It's not cool, man. And I'll always say a few measures that everyone can make sure they follow is to know about them. a few ways people literally infiltrate businesses or your computers. Number one, this one is very nice. I like this technique. Social engineering, whereby a person just talks to you, have a nice conversation, or it's a nice conversation, but this conversation it's a way for you to give out information about yourself, personal details, sometimes even the company you're working for, the position you're doing, and your what is this? Your employee number. Which access in the buildings do you use? What time do you guys operate? Which days are your busiest? What is your research focusing on? Like, it's just social. They're just social beings. As it says, social engineering. It's not like you think a lot. They just talk to you nicely. You see? So, you may believe it or not, some of us do fall into these. Some of you are already falling into social engineering tactics because sometimes social engineers do use platforms like LinkedIn if you are working and tell you about different type of jobs, what they do, what. They want to know what are you doing at that company, how long have you been there, you see, what type of projects are you working on. That's social engineering. The person is just talking to. It's an interaction. It's socializing. Social being at its most. You see. So sometimes people tend to get not tend to in Pretoria, especially in the streets of Pretoria. People do get mugged. And I'm saying they get mugged not in terms of they come with a knife or a gun. They get mugged in terms of different conversation. These scams are way ahead of their times. I'll just talk to you, hey man. I see you're having a problem with this. Do you want me to help you right now? And they're always targeting students every year. I don't know how many student laptops have they stolen or student phones or anything. They'll tell you, I man, I see like Jordan, you're looking at it, and I'm working here at Jordan. It's Mr. It's Sports B. It's Sports C. Yeah, sorry, Sports C. Hey, and I'll tell you, I can help you get it. I work here. But now I work kumrauda behind. You see, when I just give me 300 right now, or give me your phone so that I can trust that yes, you're gonna not gonna run away when I bring in the shoes or anything. I'll still find you here. You do it, they go gone. Some scammers are good out there. You see, other ones would be the ones that call you about certain phones, phone contracts, or what, because they know they see that maybe they buy data from certain things, sites, which is selling people's data. These things are happening. It's a reality. And then they'll call you about, hey man, don't you want to buy a phone? A nice phone. 123, give us your account number. It's already nowadays they just want your account number and they're happy. Give us your account number or we'll help you through that. Don't worry. Boom. Social engineering at its best. Another one to be aware of it's ransomware, whereby they attack on the business and then tell them that we are able to attack. We'll give you this data back for maybe 200 M. Or if it's that not much of a big data, they'll say, give us 50K, you see. And most of the time, how they infiltrate different organizations, businesses, really. It's how we neglectful, you see. People get really neglectful at times, especially when you are working from home, when you're around your friends and you're doing a quick fix there and you leave your PC there, you have to go to the bathroom or maybe you had an emergency call. Someone will see it, oh, there's his work. Let me send myself something or see his passwords. Just that you left your phone there. You see? So there are different forms of attacks which occur. But the main ones, social engineering, ransomware. And now we are seeing AI are helping out too. So yeah, I think you learned a thing or two in today's episode. We are looking at cyber. This is really interesting because it led one to think of cybercrime is really growing now. It's a thing. It's not a thing of the which might come in the near future, but it's a thing now. It's happening. Wow. You see? So now a few things which I like to quote in what one of the key things I've recently found out is that CSIR did a nice thing by taking in grades to teach them cybersecurity. I like it. You go CSIR. They fought a good battle there. They did a good thing. So that's really good that they are able to take in grads and, they took them grads into a cybersecurity analysis roles. That's kind of great. They're turning these grads from a cyber academy to security analysts. So whatever they learn theoretically and a few practicality, they're going to apply them fully on, hands-on experience all the way. Yeah, yeah. And what I like is that these guys they went through a 6-month program which was introduced and supported by McSETA, MICETA. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They did a good thing. And the University of Penda. Inda. See? And then there it is. Now they're cybersecurity analysts. Speaking about cybersecurity, have you guys recently heard about the spy bill? You see? South Africa's new spy bill literally has even been making waves or letting people to start panicking because the breakdown of the bill is that their aim is to overhaul the SSA, which is the State Security Agency, and to make sure that now the bill is being having to create two agencies. Now they're going to be two separate agencies within the SSA, South African Intelligence Service, which will be focusing on foreign threats like spying on other countries or spies which come here and spy us. And another one would be South African Intelligence Agency. This one will only concentrate on focusing on domestic threats within the country. You see? That's really, really happening. Now, a few concerns from this spy bill is that overly broad definitions. You see, critics mainly argue that definitions of the national security threats are too vague. This will mean allowing the spies to spy on anyone they deem a threat. So, meaning if I don't know what I'll be doing and they see it as a threat, they'll be spying on me because they're not really straight to the point about what they are defining as this is right, this is wrong. How do we identify this one as a threat, this one as a not? Okay. Another one would be that the concern is potential abuse. Because people are worried that people may use their broadened powers to target certain things. You see, like as I said, if you have that power to spy on anyone, find out maybe somebody was panangada nane crash when you go easy everything about his or her crash or maybe umukwatisitse la a tracker mo. These things happen. You find out that I want to know. And another one would be that people are concerned, experts have a concern in terms of focus because they believe that the bill prioritizes spying on citizens over strengthening defenses against cyber attacks from outside the country, which is true. But at the same time, it has to do things both ways. Look at the people within its country and people outside too. You see, I stand with the experts, but at the same time, I stand with the spy bill because sometimes you might find out that your threats are not from outside, but from the people in your house. You get it? Because everyone knows the best way to destroy an empire is from within. Because from outside can be what? Rebuild. You see? Because you might find out one of us was being told, I'll give you $50 million. Do this and this in your country. That's terrorism. Being a traitor. And you're like, no one is spying on us where I'm from. You would do it. You see? Everyone has a price. That's the truth I can say. We all have a price. Just that no one is vocal about it. You see? And poverty is reality. It's there. You see? People are hungry. We need money. It's hard to survive. That's why there's such an increase in this. Anyway, well, this thing has been happening, and the spy bill, I'm not sure when will it take place because it was sent to give out people a comment by February. So I think now I'm in April, so I might be late on that. sorry. This won't happen again. Promise you on that. And now the debate from based off the spy bill is it security versus privacy. Well, we all know sometimes to have the best security, it means to let go of privacy at some point. That's the truth. It's how spying is, right? So yeah, man. Anyway, it's a boy T, Tapela, Tiamo, Leslie, Molodo. I have a lot of nicknames, just like I have a lot of names. Kawotamo. Anyway, I hope you had a nice enjoyment and could write down a few things about, besides from what you've learned or the insights on today, on other topics you'd like to share. But next topic we're going on to would be like agriculture. Level agricultural tech next. And the business side of it too. Anyway, it's a boy Tiamo Blend. Have a good day, have a good evening, and I hope you enjoyed.